Hey everybody, this is Tim again, and this is a continuation of my Beat Inflation series that I'm doing every Wednesday. This is going to be episode 5. And so far in the Beat Inflation series, we've been talking about ways to save money week after week on things that you have a tendency to do anyway. Things like gas, food, grocery stores, also local dining here in Murfreesboro. But today's going to be different. What if there was one change you could make one time that could save you over $1,000 a year and then keep saving you month after month after month after that? That's not just beating inflation, that's beating the heck out of inflation. Today we're looking at the difference between Xfinity versus YouTube TV and combining YouTube TV with Google Fiber. You're going to get faster internet service, better, more stable internet service, and also a better overall TV package for a lot less money. So we're going to get into that right now and get into some of the details. I'm going to try to keep this to around somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. We'll see how that works. That's what I've been doing previous weeks, and so I'm going to try to make that the same this week as well. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the relevant screen here to get into this, and then we can go through it together. And I think this is going to make a lot of sense as we go through it. So that should be coming up on your screen right now. And if you can see this right here, this is basically the pricing that is currently available at Comcast and or what they call Xfinity. Right now, what they've done is in the past, they will lock you into like a 12-year deal, and at the end of that 12-year deal, a 12-month deal. At the end of that 12 months, they'll jump the price up on you, and that has made a lot of customers angry, and they've switched and things like that over the years. So what they're trying to do now is say, we're going to give you the same price for 5 years, and they have lowered the price some compared to what it used to be, but it's still a lot more expensive than it should be. So we're going to get into that and kind of what the differences are. Additionally, when they show you these prices, they don't necessarily include everything in the price. For instance, cable still uses boxes, and you have to have a box with each TV, and it doesn't really make a ton of sense anymore because the boxes don't even include a DVR anymore. The DVR is in the web, and their DVR service is not very good. It's not very reliable. I've known several people who utilize their service and who have had a lot of issues with their DVR that they have that's online now. It's not nearly as good as YouTube TVs, and so we're going to get into that as well. But when you look at their charges, they're saying, okay, we're going to give you all of this, the TV and 2 gigabytes of internet service for $235 a month. That's as long as you auto pay and you go paperless, meaning you're only receiving statements by email. And then that also includes their 5-year price guarantee discount. Now the funny thing is, if you look down in the fine print, it does say that after 12 months, fees are subject to change. So even though they're saying we're locking you into this price for 5 years, when they put in there that fees are subject to change after 1 year, that tells me that they may hit you with something else later. The other thing is this doesn't include the extra box fees. So they give you the one box for free for the main TV. If you have 2 other TVs, I'm estimating that everybody's going to have like 3 TVs in their house. Most people have at least 2. Some people have 3 or more. So let's say you have 3 TVs. Well, you're going to pay an extra $28 a month for the extra 2 boxes. Additionally, I do believe that they still charge a fee for their modem and router combination, and everybody has to have a modem and router. So I'm not sure why they have that as an extra fee. It should just be included, but I believe that that's around $20 per month that they're going to charge on extra on that as well. So you're going to be easily over $250 a month for their service, probably closer to $270 a month or something like that. And then they're still going to have some other taxes and fees on there as well. So it's not a cheap service. It's an expensive service for Comcast, and this is their 2 gigabyte internet service. The reason I'm using the 2 gigabyte service is because I love Google Fiber and their 3 gigabyte service, which is the same price as Comcast 2 gigabyte service. And I believe that if you go to straight streaming, you want to have a high service for that streaming, because everybody in your household uses devices, and if you're streaming TV on 2 or 3 TVs, you have tablets, you have phones, everybody's streaming. You want to have more than 1 gigabyte, in my opinion. 1 gigabyte might still get you through depending on the family, but I like the 3 gigabyte service. You can drop it down, even if you were using YouTube TV. You could drop down to the 1 gigabyte service if you wanted to. It'd save you another $30 a month or so. But anyway, this is what we're looking at, $250 plus if you are going with Comcast, plus their 2 gigabyte service. If you go down to the 1 gigabyte service, that'll save you like $30 a month. That's the same thing with Google Fiber. If you look at the Google Fiber, their 3 gigabytes is $100 a month. That's the same as Comcast 2 gigabyte. You drop down to the 1 gig and it saves you $30 per month. And so that's what you're looking at. You could even go to 8 gigabytes for $150 a month. That's really overkill unless you're, running a fairly large business out of your home or something like that. You have a bunch of different computers. But 3 gigabytes works extremely well. That's what I have. I've had no issues with it whatsoever, and I have YouTube TV. So anyway, that's what that looks like. If you're looking over here, looking at theirs, there's $100 a month for the 2 gigabyte service, or $70 a month for the 1 gigabyte service. And then when you're looking at YouTube TV packages, the sports plan I don't really get very much, because it's just a cheaper plan with less channels on it, and it's not that much cheaper. It's only going to save you like $3, and you lose a bunch of channels. And they call it the sports channels, but if I remember correct, some of the stuff that you will find sports on aren't even on here. Let me see what they've got. Now I think TNT and True TV are both on here, and sometimes they have sports stuff on them. So I think you do get most of the sports stuff, but I don't see. They've got NFL Network, but I don't see things like Red Zone or stuff that the Red Zone package includes, which would be like the Tennis Network and stuff. They do have T2, but not Tennis Network. So to me, this isn't even really a sports package, because they don't include some of the things that their sports plan does include, or the real sports add-on plan includes, right? So if you go to here, let's see if they show the sports add-on package here. Yeah, right here, NFL Red Zone with Sports Plus add-on. I think this is around $10 a month to add this, and it includes the tennis channel, which, the sports package that they had, the sports channels they had, don't include the tennis channel, things like that. And they also have some things on here like FanDuel TV and stuff. Sometimes I think that might have games on it or something. And then, of course, Red Zone's on here as well. But I don't get the sports plan, because literally the only thing that I would watch on it would be the tennis channel, and it's not worth $10 a month for me to have the tennis channel. So it depends on what it is you're doing, what you want to watch. Red Zone, I'm not going to watch that, because I actually I get Sunday Ticket. If you get Sunday Ticket in advance, you save like $100, and so I get Sunday Ticket for the NFL every time, and YouTube TV is the one that actually holds Sunday Ticket now, so it makes it so much easier to add Sunday Ticket on every year. You just do the early bird, save $100 on it when you do the early bird, and then you're all set for your NFL. You don't need Red Zone. So anyway, that's that. But when you look at the channel difference, this is their normal package, includes all of these channels. So you get a ton of channels right here. And then you have add-ons that you can do as well. They charge extra for, and then they have the sports add-on there for Red Zone. So those are the things that you can do. But if you do the sports plan channels, it has a lot less channels. That's all you get in the normal channels. I would not do that. That's just not enough, in my opinion. And you're only talking about $13 a month difference between those two packages. So I would go with the regular YouTube TV plan. That's going to give you that for $67.99 a month for the first 3 months. Then it goes to $82.99 a month after the first 3 months. And so I'm basing how much you're saving on the $82.99 a month, not the $67.99 a month. So first 3 months you'll save a little extra. But yeah, you're going to be paying over $250 a year for the cable, especially when you add on their boxes and the different, the router and all that kind of stuff. You're probably going to be closer to $270 or $280 a year. Whereas with YouTube TV, you're going to be $82.99 a month plus the $100 for the 3 gig internet service and that's going to bring you to $182.99 a month. So when you're looking at it, if I'm looking at this as one versus the other, this is 100 plus. Where was the other? Oh, let me go down here again. Yeah, so it's 235 plus. Let's just say you have 2 extra boxes. 235 plus 28 for the 2 extra boxes, plus another 20 for the router. That puts you at about 283 per month. 283 per month versus, what did I say it was? Basically 183 per month. Yeah, so it's $100 a month you're going to save if you look at those things, and if you get the 2 extra boxes plus the router, you're looking at about $100 a month in savings. And of course, $100 a month over 12 months, that's $1,200 per year you're going to save, and all you have to do is switch one time and you're saving it every single month. So you're going to have an extra $1,000 plus in your bank account after 1 year and each year after that because of making this switch. And here's the other part of it. I've been using YouTube TV for a few years now, and it's gotten better, and it's, in my opinion, way better than cable at this point. Its DVR service is incredible. Just to give you an example of what I do, I love NFL football, which I get to use Red Zone for that, but I also love college basketball, pro basketball. I also like certain teams in baseball. You can go on and you can select a team and say, I want, you basically just check mark it, and it will record on the DVR automatically every game by that team that they play that's televised. Additionally, and that's included the Sunday network stuff too. Additionally, if you wanted to record every team or every game within a sport, like let's say you wanted it to record every college basketball game, you could go to the NCAA basketball, click the check mark, it would automatically DVR every college basketball game, and then you can pick and choose which ones you want to watch. And the service that they give you on the DVR is unlimited. So you can record as much as you want. You never run out of space, and it's all in the cloud, and it's incredible. I've never had an issue with it. It works unbelievably well. And then what happens is you just go to recordings, and then you can pull it down. You can even specify that you just want the most recent recordings. You can say sports. You can define it several different ways when you're looking at recordings, which ones you're interested in. And if you go to the home page, it will automatically usually show you at the top the most recent stuff that you've recorded. So it makes it so easy. It's so intuitive, so much better than anything that I've ever done with cable, and just works extremely well. The main thing you have to make sure of is that you have a TV that can handle and that has access to the app, right? So you have to have the YouTube TV app on the TV. So it needs to be a fairly new TV, or if you have an old TV, for instance, my in-laws have some old TVs, and I just went out and got them a Fire TV stick from Amazon. Plug that in. It has a power cable that comes from it as well. You plug that power cable in. They use their remote. It also has a voice remote that works really well. And so even if you have an old TV that doesn't have apps on it, you can still utilize it if you get a Fire TV stick. I think the Fire TV stick was like, the one we got was like $30 or something like that. So made the TV into a TV that can handle YouTube and other streaming services. So anyway, that's pretty incredible, and save $100 a month and have better access to more channels, more information, and like I said before, you can still add on other stuff if you want to on there. There's a lot of different add-ons you can do. You can do the Red Zone thing if you really want, like Tennis Network and stuff like that. So you have all those add-on options available. Other things you can do to save money in addition to switching and cutting the cord, other things you can do, one of the things that I do is I like streaming services other than YouTube for TV shows. Like, for instance, Netflix, Prime, stuff like that. I have Prime all the time because I use Prime for a lot of purchases and stuff as well. So I always have Prime no matter what. And I watch stuff on Prime all the time. But I will alternate with some of the other things that I use. For instance, I never have Netflix and Apple TV at the same time. There's no reason to do that because I don't watch so much TV that I need to watch things on both of those networks at the same time. So I'll watch what I want on Netflix, and once I get to a certain point and I feel like I've kind of run out of stuff I really want to watch right then, I'll shut off Netflix, I'll turn on Apple TV and start paying for Apple TV, and then I'll watch some shows on Apple TV at that point. There's no reason to have all these streaming services and be paying all of them all at once. It's super simple to do it otherwise. Also, I also have Peacock, and with Peacock, I basically keep it during college basketball season because some of the college basketball games I want to watch are on Peacock. I don't watch a lot of other programming on there, but I don't want to miss those college basketball games, so I'll keep it during that period of time. The funny thing is that when you go to shut Peacock off, they will ask you if you want to continue it for like $2.99 a month or something like that for 6 months. And so the last time I went to shut it off, I went ahead and did that because college basketball, I was like 2 months away from college basketball starting. And so I went ahead and started to switch it off. They gave me that option. I went ahead and did it because I knew that $2.99 a month was going to carry me into basketball season and be a lot cheaper than what it was going to cost if I canceled it and restarted it. So there are different things that you can do like that to save some additional money. But the main thing that I wanted to cover today is how you can save so much money on switching from cable to something like YouTube TV. There's some other services if you want to use something other than YouTube TV. YouTube TV is the one that I prefer. I did a lot of research before I switched, and I think it has gotten a lot better since I even switched. So that's the one that I prefer and that I like a lot. And then you can combine the savings on that with a lot of the other savings and the other episodes that I've already covered, and you can probably be saving a couple $100 a month at least. I'd say $200 to $300 a month on these different things that we're showing you on these episodes, and try to beat inflation by saving $300 or $400 a month. Just think about that. Just think about having an extra $3,000 to $4,000 in the bank every year because you're taking these money saving steps. It can definitely make a difference. Inflation is real. It's really hurt us all, and why not beat it? That's the key. So the other thing I wanted to let you know too, gas prices have come down some. I just got gas this past weekend. I did cover gas on a previous episode and how to save money on gas. But if you want to go back and check that out, I think it was episode maybe 2 or 3 that I covered gas, maybe 3. But anyway, I did cover how to save a lot of money on gas. And so this past weekend I went and got gas, and just like the last few times, I had my wife pull her car in, I pulled in right behind her. We filled up both of our cars for $1.49 a gallon. And it was going to be $3.29 a gallon. So we actually got $1.80 off per gallon on our gas. $1.49 a gallon. I don't remember the last time it was $1.49 a gallon, right? So that's another way to beat inflation. Go back and look at the other episodes. Additionally, if you want to comment, please put a comment in. If you have ideas or things that you know about that could save people money and help beat inflation, put them in the comments. I want to hear about them because we all need to be helping each other save more money. And if you do have a great idea that you put into the comments on how to save money and beat inflation, if it makes a lot of sense to me, I will put an episode together in the future and include that on a future episode for sure, because I want to make sure we're saving as much as we can. We're all helping each other get through these tough times. So that's pretty much it. I certainly appreciate you being here and watching this, and I certainly look forward to more episodes in the future. I'm going to keep doing these weekly as long as I have material. So hang in there, stay tough, and if you do have any comments or suggestions or anything, feel free to put them in here. I'd certainly like to hear about them. We're always looking to help people as much as possible. Thank you.